Top 5 Horror Short Films That Will Keep You Up at Night. Part 1. At number 5. Alone Time. This 2014 horror thriller directed by Rob Blackhurst tells the story of a young woman named Anne, who is feeling a bit overwhelmed by her busy and fast-paced day-to-day life in New York City. Feeling constantly stressed at work and at home, and decides to go on an impromptu hiking trip all by herself, in an attempt to get some quiet and recharge her batteries. We watch her go through her peaceful day off in the mountains, before she realizes that something incredibly wrong has been happening the entire time. The brilliant writing of Alone Time is what makes it so effective in its approach to horror. It is a slow, quiet and intelligent movie that does a fantastic job at luring you into a false sense of security, by using a relatable character to get you through the story. And while it doesn't use any jump scares and loud noises to get you, the twist alone will send chills down your spine, manifesting as a disturbingly realistic instance that could happen to anybody in real life. At number 4. I Heard It Too. Taking inspiration from the famous two-sentence horror story, directors Matt Sears and Tim Knight bring to life one of the most bone-chilling horror shorts ever made. I Heard It Too tells the story of Stephanie, a little girl who is woken up in the middle of the night by the sound of her mother's voice repeatedly calling her from downstairs. Confused, she gets up to go to her, but as she reaches the stairs, her mother grabs her and takes her into another room. She holds Stephanie tight in her arms and tells her the now famous line, "I heard it too." What ensues is a tense and terrifying quest to discover who, or what, was calling from downstairs. That said, I Heard It Too is without the shadow of a doubt his masterpiece of the genre, and a sign that we can all expect more scares from him in the future. The film keeps you on the edge of your seat from the very start, and it doesn't let go until it ends.
It's okay, there's no one there.
Mommy, I saw her.
At number 3. Stucco. This weird and unsettling flick was written and directed by Janina Gavankar, Star Wars, True Blood, The Morning Show, and she also stars as the main character Jay, an agoraphobic and emotionally broken woman who accidentally knocks a hole in the wall of her new home while trying to hang a piece of art. She realizes the wall was hiding what appears to be a secret room, but she doesn't want to break it further. As she waits to get the original blueprints of the house, strange things start to happen to Jay, and soon, the possibilities of what might be hiding behind the wall begin to take over her mind. Stucco is raw, unapologetic, and as unusual as a movie can be. Yet another welcomed entry in the realm of modern psychological horror. Don't miss this one. At number 2. The Sermon. An isolated church community led by an extremist preacher captures and tortures one of its own members, a middle-aged lady who was caught having an affair with another woman. The preacher's daughter, who is the other woman, decides that it's time for her to break free from the church's excessive practices. So, she comes up with a plan. As far as psychological horror goes, few movies have left a mark in recent memories the way The Sermon has. Director Dean Puckett offers a unique take on the genre with an award-winning film reminiscing of Ari Aster's Hereditary and Midsommar, completed with a beautiful vintage aesthetic that immerses the audience in the story's infinitely dense atmosphere. The Sermon pulls no punches, and the message behind it is just as scary as the film itself. At number 1. There Comes a Knocking. Emma, a lonely and grieving woman trying to navigate the recent loss of her husband John, installs a new antique door in her home. As she finishes, she realizes the door is locked, which she didn't notice before installing it, and she is unable to open it without a key. She decides to wait for the next day to deal with it, but things don't quite turn out that way, because that night, Emma is woken up by strange knocks coming from the other side of the door. There Comes a Knocking was written and directed by Ryan Connolly. The movie thrives on the emotional value it brings beyond the scares, making you feel for Emma as she tries to process a horrible tragedy. The imagery is just as beautiful as the story, the acting is top-notch, and when the film gets to the creepy stuff, it doesn't miss.
I'm losing my mind.